Hi, I'm Amy from Abide in Torah. Today I want to tell you a little bit more about Torah portions. When the Father taught me that the Torah applied to my life today, he instructed me to go back to the beginnings. And so this is what I did. I went back to the beginning of Scripture because I needed to build a foundation. The way that I did that was I started reading the Torah portions to my children on a weekly basis. Now, you might be saying, Torah? What is the Torah? I've never even heard that word. Well, the Torah is the Hebrew word that is translated in our English Bibles as law or commandments. Sadly, that word law is a poor translation, but that's the one that has been used most often. The word better describes instruction or direction. Hebrew is a picture language. That means that all of the letters of the Hebrew alphabet actually started as pictures, and then pictures were put together to form words. So the words truly represented that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Because they were pictures, they had a depth of meaning that we lose in the Greek translation in the New Testament, and we lose in our English words because they don't have those same pictorial representations. But the word Torah actually comes from the Hebrew root word yara, which means to instruct, to direct, or to aim. So the picture for the word Torah would be someone aiming an archer, aiming his bow at a target, instructing him in the direction that he should go. So a better definition for that word Torah would be instructions. The Torah is the Father's instructions for how we should live, how we are to relate to Him, how we are to relate to our families and our fellow man. It's also directions. These are instructions and directions that lead us in the path of righteousness. Now, the word Torah also can be used to represent the 5 books of the Bible, the first 5, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Those 5 books together are called the Torah. Now, every year, the Hebrews and the Jews read the Torah one time through those books, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. According to Jewish tradition, Ezra and the Great Assembly are the ones who are credited with beginning these Torah portions. Or basically, it just means that those 5 books have been divided up into weekly segments so that a portion is read every week. And by the end of a calendar year, you would have read the first 5 books. Now, Ezra was obviously one of the authors of one of the books in the Bible. He was also a scribe. And that council or that great assembly was a gathering of great prophets that met together. Among these were Daniel, Nehemiah, even Mordecai is reported to have been at that assembly. This would have been Esther's uncle from that book. So these men are credited for developing this schedule. What I want to do is I want to share my screen with you, and I'm going to take you to a website. This website is called torahportions.org. You can see the address for that website right up here. Now, this is like a calendar, if you will, of all of the Torah portions, their divisions, and how they would be read each year. Each portion is named. You can see the one that we are currently in when I'm making this video is Beshalach, and then the date during which it would be read. And then you'll see on these 3 columns, there is a Torah portion, a portion to be read from the prophets, and a portion to be read from the Gospels. Now, I have to be honest with you and tell you, in these first years of doing this, I only got through the Torah portions, and some weeks I didn't even get through the suggested reading for that week. I have never consistently managed to get through the Torah portion, the prophet portion, and the portion from the New Testament in a given week with my children. There was just so much I found to learn in the Torah portion from those first 5 books that I never even made it to the other sections. One of the reasons I like this TorahPortions.org website, I'm going to switch over there one more time, is because it has these, it's broken up into different sections. You can see up here at the top, you can find last week's portion, this week's portion, or next week's portion. I'm going to click on the one for this week. This week's portion, you can see it's listed out here. There's the Torah, the prophets, and the Gospels. Down here lower, you can see each of these segments and then what the basic idea or the summary of that segment. But this little portion right here, I want you to notice next to the word Torah is Exodus, and then there's little printed pages and a little speaker. And that is the main reason I wanted to share this website with you, because there were days when I didn't get to read with my children for whatever reason. Somebody was sick or we had a field trip and I just could not sit down and get a portion of it read with my children. So what I would do on those days, and even other times, I would go to this website and I would turn on the Torah portion and just let the scripture be read out loud in my kitchen. That's where we spend most of our time. Between meals and homeschooling, we pretty well live in our kitchen and dining room. So I would just turn the speakers up and I would just let the words of scripture fill the room. And I would listen, and sometimes I would hear things that I had missed when I had already read that passage. And it was a way for me to share the scripture with my children on days when I just couldn't sit down for whatever reason and get to it. So whether you use this website, TorahPortions.org, or another one, there's plenty out there where you can find a schedule of readings for any given week of any given year. It's a great tool and a place for you to start reading with your children.